Please, we are in a crisis mode in American schools.
It is a terrifying thought when you realize that Gen Z is the very last generation to have lived a normal childhood without iPads or without iPhones, because that's never going to happen ever again. And I think everyone knew that it was going to be bad to have a new generation of humans being raised on technology, but I don't think we understand how bad it's actually going to get. And the reason I say this is because there are more and more teachers coming out every single day to say that Gen Alpha is impossible to teach.
But I don't understand why they're not stressing to y'all how bad it is. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny, but these kids are... I'ma just say this. I teach 7th grade, they are still performing on the 4th grade level. I don't care how you flip it, turn it, swing it, swindle it. They still performing on a 4th grade level.
Now, I can completely understand that there are going to be some children out there who have a harder time trying to learn, or who learn just a little bit slower than the rest of their peers. But when you have entire classrooms full of these kids, or better yet, multiple schools across the country filled with kids just like this, that's an issue. And these teachers are saying that these kids are stuck in the 4th grade. That they've been in the 4th grade since the 4th grade.
You the teacher. You supposed to be... Again, she's been on the 4th grade level since the 4th grade. We in 7th grade now. So you let this child go 3 years and you never knew that your child was still in the 4th grade? Ain't never left the... Hang it up, flat screen. And 4th graders being nice. I still have kids performing on grade K, 1, 2, and 3rd grade levels.
They're not retaining any of this education. It's just going in one ear and right out the other. And what makes this video even more disturbing is the fact that this teacher says that he can count the amount of students actually performing to their grade level on one hand.
I could probably count on one hand how many kids are actually performing on their grade level. So just imagine, you don't know that your child been on the 2nd grade level since the 2nd grade and they now in the 7th or 8th grade? Are you joking right now? And these are future leaders, our future doctors, our future nurses, our future... Please.
But it gets worse as the bar just gets lower and lower, because there was another teacher who stitched that original video and said she also teaches 7th graders. But they're not performing on the level of a 4th grader. They're performing on the level of a 2nd grader.
Because I also teach 7th grade, and we have kids that have math grade level equivalents of 1st and 2nd grade, 3rd grade, many at 4th grade, very few at grade level, very few, if any, in some classes.
These two age groups should not be performing on the same level.
These kids can't read. They can't decode. They have no vocabulary, no background knowledge. I've never seen anything like it. My 5th graders with significant language-based learning disabilities could write better than non-disabled 7th graders can now. They can't write a sentence. They don't know what state they live in. They don't know what region of the country they're in. They have no background knowledge. Most of them don't know who the president is. And this was the case last year. They can't take notes. They can't even attend to a video. They can't even attend to a 3-minute video clip. I can play it. I can tell them what it's going to be about. I can summarize what the video did, and not a single one can tell me what the video was about.
Now, in this video, that will not be the first nor the last time that you guys will hear these teachers warning people of the fact that these kids can't read, they can't write, they don't have a vocabulary. I can't even say I'm shocked at the fact that these kids don't really have a great vocabulary when all of them are using terms like skibbity or gyat.
If Georgia's like, I have a bigger gyat than you, I'll be like,
what is a
be
gyat?
so free with it.
What? What on earth
I'm
is
sorry,
a gyat?
what?
A yacht?
A gyat! So, a gyat?
It stands for...
It stands for girl, your booty thick.
Girl, your ass
It's like
thick?
basic, yeah. If you have a BBL or if your butt shakes when you walk, that's when you would yell gyat at somebody.
Or Rizzler. Or phantom tax. Whatever that's supposed to mean. And it's rotting their brains. It is getting so bad to the point where this teacher has said that he has had to dumb his curriculum down for his students because they are not processing the information on their grade level. So he has no other choice but to dumb the curriculum down so that he can slowly introduce the curriculum that they're supposed to be on.
So I posted a video asking parents to start working with teachers in order to get their children to where they need to be in terms of literacy. I'm a 7th grade teacher. A lot of my students read very well below grade level. You can point fingers and blame who you want, but the reality is these children cannot read on grade level. And we are having to dumb down curriculum to get these kids to where they need to be, and they're not getting there. I promise you, and I'm not the only one saying this. There are thousands, if not millions of teachers across this country who are saying the same damn thing.
In another video, he goes on to say that yes, while COVID did play a huge part in the way that these kids are being developed, that's only a part of the problem. The main part of the problem is that when these kids get back home from school, they are not retaining any of the information that they just heard because they come home and immediately start doing this. As soon as they walk into their door, their parents are letting them do this.
And this is not just because of COVID. This is not just because kids were out of school for a long time. That is a huge contributing factor to it. But it's also because they're in environments where education and literacy are not emphasized or it's not modeled. I got a student, whenever the student has to work, he does not like doing it and he gets frustrated and then he gets mad and then he starts to lash out, and I can't work with him past that point because he does not read on grade level, and I can't give him grade level work because he's so far on the grade level.
They are so used to having a device in their hands at all time that when there comes a time there is no device, they will just start playing it with their thumbs and their fingers in the air as if they do have a device in their hands. It isn't any surprise that they're not retaining any of the information because all they're thinking about is, where's my phone? When can I go on my phone? What's happening on my phone right now? They don't have any environmental awareness. They don't know what's going on around them. Because there was literally a kid who was left alone at his restaurant table because the family had acted like they left to see if he would notice. He didn't lift a finger. He didn't lift his eyes. He did not notice that there was nobody else at the table with him anymore. Because as soon as they get their device, they tune the world out and nothing else matters but the device that's in their hands and what they're doing on that device. And the people in that video were laughing like it was funny. That's not funny. That is dangerous. And I don't know how some people can just laugh at that.
When I tell you that these babies cannot read, they cannot write, and they cannot comprehend, I'm not being funny. I'm being dead serious. It doesn't exist.
But what he's the most concerned about is the fact that he's teaching 7th graders, okay? These kids would be from 12 to 13 years old. And these are the words that they're struggling with. These are the words that they cannot spell.
7th grade English teacher here. I teach in Northern Houston, and I teach at one of the more affluent schools. I have kids constantly asking me, how do I spell window? How do I spell important? How do I spell though? And they be serious. They're dead serious.
He then goes on to say that he will get his students to read a story with 4 paragraphs. Just 4. And they cannot name the main character of that story. They do not know the main character's name of a 4-paragraph story that they just read.
I could ask them, who is the main character of your story? The story of 4-paragraph story we just read. Can't tell you. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. It took us 4 weeks to get through how to answer a question in a complete sentence.
But this topic of discussion isn't just only on TikTok, because it's on Twitter as well. This is the work of an 8th grader. A child who is anywhere from 13 to 14 years old is turning in work that looks like this. That's real. And somebody in the replies of this tweet said this: I haven't looked into this much, but all I know is that if I had autocorrect as a kid, it would have for sure fucked me up. I agree with them. I really do. How are we supposed to expect kids to learn anything or to retain any information when they can just go online, type one word into an AI bot and get an entire essay written for them with the step of a finger? How can we blame them for not being able to sustain any actual education when they can just go to the App Store, scan a problem that they're having with their homework through an app, and get the answer immediately? How is any information supposed to stick when there's no actual learning going on? It's just, let me get my phone out and scan this equation, and then I'll write what's being given to me. But this phenomenon isn't just happening at schools. It's happening everywhere. You want to learn ballet? It's happening there.
Having to teach and work with you guys as children has been the most traumatic experience of my life. I teach 5-year-olds ballet. They don't respect any authority. You ask them, can you stand in your designated spot? They're telling you no and shut up. You say, can everybody sit in their spot? I don't want to. I'm not doing that. You don't get to tell me what to do. You're not my mom. I told a young little girl, please sit in your spot. You're not my mom. You don't tell me what to do. When her mom came to pick her up, I said, hey, your daughter's having a hard time following instructions. 7 times today, I've had to redirect her to just sit in her spot. Well, clearly she didn't want to sit. And mind you, this is a mom. Clearly she didn't want to fucking sit right there. So, I mean, if she's telling you she don't want to do something, why keep asking her to do it? You know she's not going to do it.
And that's also why we can't put the blame solely on the children, because their parents clearly don't care.
And another thing that's heart-wrenching is horrifying. Your 5-year-old daughters are asking to listen to Pound Town.
5-year-olds are requesting this song. This is the song that they want to hear in their ballet class. And the only reason any of them would have even known about that song's existence is through TikTok, is through Instagram, because of the devices that their parents keep giving them without any supervision.
I'm playing them Princess Tiana ballet music, and they are asking me, can we hear I'll say, hey, you know, let's regroup. If you guys need 5 minutes, let's do some breathing. Your kids are telling me to shut up. You guys as kids are saying, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. You're not my mom. Y'all come in and you're more worried about what's going on your Instagram and TikTok feed versus being a parent. Be a fucking parent. With kids that are between the ages of 5, you guys don't parent your children at all. They have no basic comprehension skills. They can't sit still. No attention span. They're hitting people. They can't talk. They can't communicate. They don't even know how to say, I want to go to the bathroom. If you ask them a question, they're rude, nasty, horrible attitudes at 5. And they want to hear Pound Town.
I mean, this teacher is getting pushed so far to the limit of the behavior from not just the kids, but from the careless parents as well, that she doesn't even want to teach the class anymore. She's losing the passion to teach ballet.
I literally don't even want to teach ballet to you guys' kids anymore because they are so hard to work and deal with.
And how do I know that the parents don't care? Because this teacher was calling a mother over the way her son was behaving in class, and all the mother could say was, well, isn't that your job to deal with that? What am I supposed to do about that? That's some parents that we have of these kids now. So why can we even be surprised that Gen Alpha is turning out this way?
Hey, I was calling because I'm having a little bit of an issue out of your son today. He is not wanting to sit down in his seat, and he will not stop talking. So
Oh my God, I thought he was sick. So y'all don't handle that?
I'm not trying to get smart. I just want us to work together to ensure the success of your scholar.
Well, I mean, what he doing?
He won't sit down and he won't stop talking. Therefore, he's not able to complete.
You can't make him sit down.
Well, I can't make a child do anything. I can ask it, but I can't make him do it. And so I'm wanting to work together.
Like, I brought him, I sent him up there to that school because y'all need to know how to handle him. I thought they had teachers that know how to handle kids.
I mean, if y'all can't handle, I don't know what you want me to do.
Newsflash, parents! Teachers are not your babysitters. They are there to do a job, and that is to educate children. That is to make sure they succeed in the future. That is to make sure they get into the college that they want to in the future. It is not their job to discipline them. That's your job. You are meant to teach them how to listen to people, how to have manners. You can't just send your child to school and expect the teachers at that school to be a parent. It is not a teacher's responsibility to raise your child. That's your responsibility. So why are you telling the teacher to do your job on top of the job that she's already doing? One more reason why the parents are solely to blame for this is because there are 1-year-olds. Humans that were born last year who are getting iPads for Christmas.
So this might be a controversial topic, but I'm going to tell you guys why we got our 1-year-old an iPad for Christmas. Honestly, this was supposed to be her gift last year, but I still wasn't willing to do so because I did feel extreme mom guilt.
And they didn't even want to wait until she was 1 year of age, 1 year of living, until they wanted to buy her an iPad. They wanted to get her one when she wasn't even a year old. They're getting introduced to technology that early, when they're just a couple months old. Yep, chuck an iPad at them. That's a great idea.
Technology is literally their future. Play on iPads, they read on iPads, they do their work on iPads. And as long as there's balance, iPads are not a negative thing.
You don't have a brain in your head. There is not a single working brain cell. The lights are on, but nobody's home, and I'm not even sure the lights are on. Just because it's in their future doesn't mean it needs to be introduced to them as soon as they come out of the womb. You're an idiot. You should not be a parent. You are a bad parent. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Mwah. I love you all so much, and I will see you guys in the next video.